formal these days. So we wait. And as we wait, I wonder if there are other parents out there, maybe across town, or on the other side of the country, or around the world, all of us lying on the ground, dutifully waiting for the almighty clock to set us free as our children go about their days. I'm sure there are. I wish I had snuck my phone in with me, so I could scroll through entries on my Facebook group for mothers. Surely one of the other 38,000 strangers who occasionally give me advice could offer some help or, at the very least, commiserate. But no, my phone is covered in burp cloths on my bedside table, so I'm left with my own vacuous thoughts, which soon revolve around what newborn-specific item I'll need to purchase that day. Baby Charlotte's been scratching herself. At some point, I'm going to have to give the world's tiniest manicure, and before I do, I need to procure the world's tiniest emery board. All hail Amazon. An eternity later, the clock turns green. The digital display shows a little friendly dance of lines and dots. Elated, I yell, "Ella, it's green, look." But she's busy conducting an intense checkup on Willie-Up, her unicorn. The clock, now a distant memory. "Mama," she says, throwing a hand behind her, not even making eye contact, "can you hand me the Benadryl? Willie-Up's fever is 20/20/18. Before baby Charlotte was born, Dave handled the pre-dawn wake-ups. He'd take Ella downstairs and, after numerous books and magnetile castles and checkups, guiltlessly plop her in front of a few minutes of Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, or let her swipe through some of the 30,000 photos on his phone, the vast majority of her. It wasn't like he spent the entire morning with her parked in front of a screen, but it was inevitable that when I waddled in, instead of coming upon them molding clay figurines or mixing the dough for a skillet cornbread or doing some other wholesome father-daughter bonding activity that could have been lifted from Laura Ingalls Wilder's childhood, I'd find Ella gaping at the television and him scrolling through his phone, or he'd be gaping at Mr. Rogers and she'd be scrolling. Either combination, I hated. "We just read Naked Mole Rat Gets Dressed 50 times, Dave would protest as Fred Rogers buttoned up his cardigan and got out his guitar. He was a minister. He sings songs, lighten up. It was in these moments that I started to mull the question of just how technology should be integrated into our child's life, where it could help, where it could hurt. And it was a question I was forced to confront every single day, from the moment I woke up to the moment I went to sleep. While I did my best to exist as far on the other side of the tech spectrum as possible, next to the abacus and the loom, I happened to be married to Dave, tech's greatest apologist, and our clashing worldviews came head-to-head the minute Ella arrived. A little background on the two of us. Dave and I met the last week of college where he majored in psychology. "I figured it'd be good for cocktail party conversations," he once told me, though his academic rigor paled in comparison to his extracurriculars, which included singing in a tuxedo-clad a cappella group, see Why We Met the Last Week of School. A few months after graduation, he quit his stable job at a huge company and decided to join a startup that sold men's pants exclusively online. It was the early days of e-commerce. For 2 years, as the company honed its strategy and fashion sense, he'd come home with rejects, proudly and unironically wearing wide whale pink corduroy pants with a fly that started at his knee, or blindingly yellow chinos with one leg shorter than the other. He often looked like an actual clown. But he believed in the power of the internet to disrupt retail, and years later, the company was acquired by a huge retailer. It kickstarted his love of Silicon Valley, cementing his certainty that tech could make all our lives better. He went on to join another startup before founding his own, and now he works as a venture capitalist, spending his days meeting with and advising young guns who are dying to disrupt anything, the dentist, the parking garage, in the name of progress and convenience. His day begins tethered to the cloud, as his Apple Watch logs data on how he slept and spits it back to him in the form of charts and graphs. He'll dutifully